Hello everybody, welcome back to Screen Stars and welcome to another PlayStation 4 review. Today's review is for Speed Limit, a game that is brought to us by GameChuck, and thank you very much to GameChuck for providing me with a review code for this game. Now this game is due out on the 16th of February. Now you may have noticed on the channel I put up some gameplay a couple of weeks ago. However, the review was embargoed until this date. And what do we get with Speed Limit? Well, what we get with Speed Limit is a nostalgic retro style game. For those of you who remember the bygone days of things on the Mega Drive, games on the Mega Drive, when you have great games like Desert Strike and Space Harrier, Spy Hunter, Rolling Thunder, all in great arcade type games that we played back in the day. Well, this is a nostalgic throwback to those games that also has like a modern day action movie feel to the game, and a bit like the Tom Cruise film, the Live Die Repeat film, where he dies and he comes back and then just carries on. Well, this game is like an endless, seamless game where you are basically gonna die, and I mean a lot in this game. And the idea is you make your way through this game in like a seamless shift into different game genres. And for example, you will start off on a train, and you'll have to make your way through the train as a character, fighting and shooting your way through a number of soldiers, a bit of platforming involved, jumping over these barriers, underneath these barriers, avoiding machine gun fire, avoiding helicopters, and then trying to figure out the patterns of the attackers and that kind of thing. Make your way through that, and then boom, seamlessly, boom, you'll jump into the next action scene, which could involve a car chase. And then you'll exactly the same thing. You'll get used to that style of gameplay, and then boom, it'll shift then to another gameplay genre, and this time it could be on a motorbike, on a 3D type road. This time trying to avoid the baddies and navigate your way through this section, and then you'll be a boat, then you'll be a helicopter, then you'll be an aeroplane fighter pilot, and you run seamlessly through these scenarios, and you've got to make your way through them, which is, trust me, much easier said than done. Because the one thing about this game, well, there's a lot of things about this game, if I'm honest, to enjoy. It's one of those highly addictive games where at times it makes you want to throw your controller across the room, but at other times it's highly rewarding because you'll figure it out, you'll figure out the patterns and the routines, and you'll get your way through the section, and then you move on to the next bit, and then it's a huge sigh of relief, and then boom, you're off again. You've got to try and figure out this next section out. So it's one of the most addictive games I've played in a long time. This game, I'm not going to lie, I really do think it's very, very addictive, very, very clever how they've done it. It's seamless, it's endless, you die a lot, but in regards to criticisms on some of the sections, I felt like some sections were easier than others, and maybe this spoke more to my gameplay stylings. I'm not really a big driving game fan. I'm not really a big fan of platformers. So those sections I always struggled the most with, and there were some other sections, that the fighter pilot ones, and maybe the boat ones and the helicopter ones, I felt a little bit better with. I got through them sections a little bit easier, and I don't know if that's because they were easier or it was just they were more suited to my sort of game play style. Some sections as well felt like the checkpoints were more forgiving than other sections. Some sections you will literally die about 20 to 25 times before you get to the checkpoint, and most sections have about, I don't know, 3 or 4 checkpoints before you get to the end. So it might take you a long time to get through one checkpoint, but once you've got through that checkpoint, you've got through that checkpoint. Unless you leave and come back. If you leave the game and come back, you'll start at the beginning of that checkpoint, if that makes sense. And that was a worry for me as well, because I remember the first time I played this, I got through quite a few scenarios and sections of the game, and then I left the game for a few days, about a week to be honest, before I came back and did some more gameplay for the review. And I was worried. I thought, I hope it saved where I was. I didn't want to start literally from scratch, because it felt like that might be the sort of game it is. But no, if you come back out and come back in, you get to choose where you want to start depending on which sections you've completed, which was a nice touch, I think. In regards to how the game looks, well, you can see for yourself, it's very, very retro styled. The graphics are functional, pretty cute at times, and also you look at them and you think they're pretty bad too at the same time. I think it will depend on if you're one of these people that just likes to play, these AAA games, The Last of Us Part 2s and the Gods of Wars and, your Call of Duties and things like that. I don't think you're going to be particularly impressed with how this game looks, but that's not what makes a good game, in my opinion. Yes, how a game looks is interesting, and obviously it does help. But this game moves so fast. Generally speaking, you don't really care how it looks. You're just desperate to figure out these patterns and routines and make your way through these sections. And it's such an addictive game in that sense. Genuinely, you're not that fussed about how the game looks. It's constantly challenging you, this game, to call upon all the games you've been playing over the years and trying to reprogram your brain into how to get through these certain sections from all these classic games that you've played in the past. And it is very respectful of what has come before it, this game. I think it's a lot of fun. It feels like you're playing like some weird action movie. Don't get me wrong, you're going to get frustrated with this game. I certainly did, but I certainly also found an awful lot here to enjoy. So it's a fun game. It's definitely worth checking out. It's not going to, be too expensive for you to play. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. If this is your sort of game, you like retro style games, you like addictive games, you like games that are going to challenge you, then I think you've found one here. I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. Definitely worth checking out. And I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you found it useful, and of course I will be back on Screen Stars with lots more content very, very soon.